Hey guys, listen, I'm not really sure if I'm gonna end up uploading this YouTube video or not, because if you're familiar with my type of content, it's more on the positive side of things. We're either playing video games, we're talking about music, we're making music, we're listening to music, we're just having fun. And yeah, it's like a happy-go-lucky YouTube channel, right? Not a lot of bad things are going on here, or we're not necessarily talking a lot about bad things going on. But I've had this idea, or more like not an idea, more so thoughts that have just been marinating in my brain and in my heart, because I definitely feel some type of way and it's not good. And I kind of want to talk about those things, as a human being and as a person who has a small platform on YouTube. So if you've been familiar with what has been going on in the world recently, if you've been paying attention to the news, if you've been browsing on YouTube or watching news, you might be familiar with certain things that have been going on that are absolutely fucking terrible. All right. 2-3 days ago, an American political activist at a university, he got shot, in the neck, and he passed away. Some days before that, a Ukrainian refugee got stabbed and killed on a train. There's like a revolution going on in Nepal. Don't get me started with, Ukraine, Russia, the war going on over there, and the whole situation going on with Israel and Gaza. And I just really want to ask, what the fuck is going on? I don't know how long ago, probably a week or 2 or 3 weeks ago, some guy in the United States opened fire in a church while children and teachers and other people were praying and were having a mass. And it's like, bro, every time you turn on the computer, you go to YouTube, or you turn on any like cable news channel, the stories that are coming out recently have just been downright diabolical, bro. And as a person, as a human being, and as a person who thinks that the more time passes, right, the more we venture on towards the future, shouldn't things be better? Shouldn't things be better overall on a global basis? And it gets me, thinking, like what exactly do we have to do? Or what price do we have to pay as a collective body of human beings to achieve things like world peace? Or achieve things like, there aren't people starving anywhere, or, disease ridden and war torn, or, cartel ridden. I am Venezuelan, and I live in a country currently where you could argue, the things are pretty bad down here. I don't really want to specifically talk about that, but yeah, if you've been familiar with, what the hell is going on, there are a couple of like, battleships and cruisers and submarines not far away from our coastline. And there's like a somewhat of a brigade going on. And, we don't know. It's all speculation. We don't know if at one point we're going to get militarily intervened, or if they're just trying to do something to stop all the drugs coming out from Venezuela and into the United States, and all these things, all these things that have been recently going on. And as a person, I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Really? And yeah, what exactly has to happen so that the more we venture on towards the future, like I just said, like what do we have to do so that there are no more wars? What do we have to do so that there are no more killings? What do we have to do so you don't have all these things that, you know, in my belief system, I honestly don't know if I'm mentally retarded or not. Maybe I am towards a certain extent, but I just want to see, you know, everybody. I don't care where you're from. I don't care what you do for a living. I don't care what God you believe in. I don't care what your social status is or what your economic status is. I just want you and everybody in the world to be fine, to be happy, to have things, you know, to be able to live a happy life. And it gets me thinking, you know, yeah, are just like countries or are all these organizations and are the people at the top of like certain companies, governments, banks, you know, churches or religious organizations, are the people at the top or are the people who are leading all of these things just like the most corrupt or the most diabolically engineered human beings? And yeah, you know, I don't really feel good as a person when I see all these things going on. And maybe this is kind of like a cry for help for the people who can actually make a difference. Or maybe this is an open reflection or just a man, a human being just like you, you know, what the fuck is going on? I think we should do better, right? And I'm not necessarily talking about the average Joe like me. I'm talking about you guys, you know, the people at the tippity top who can actually make a difference. Why do we still have wars going on? Why are there still senseless killings? And why are we not, or why are the people at the top, the people who can actually make a difference, why are you not doing anything significant about it? Again, shouldn't we be in a better off place as time passes by? It seems like the world is just spiraling into just chaos. And what do we have to do? What price do we have to pay? Am I honestly crazy or delusional for feeling the way that I'm feeling? I'm most certainly, you know, I'm most certainly thinking that you feel just like me. But yeah, what the fuck is going on?